Today, I'm going to show you how to create leprechaun bait. The things we'll need to create our leprechaun bait is one glass bottle, and I am using a 125 milliliter Regent bottle that has the ground glass stopper. This is a smaller version of the bottle we used for moss. Then we're going to use the same 3-colored moss that we used in our moss jar. We're going to use some gold glass vase filler. We're going to use the same 2 coatings we used in our moss ingredient jar. We're going to use a hot glue gun with regular glue. I've got a tool here to help me put my items in a jar. Scissors, and we're going to use some of these beads on here, specifically the gold stone beads. And finally, we will need our label printed on sticker paper, and the link for this is in the description down below. Let's get started. Would you like a chance to win a monthly potion bottle? Then consider supporting me over on Patreon. All of my patrons have a chance to win a monthly potion bottle. Patreon not your thing? No worries. You can become a member here on YouTube where you get exclusive icons and emojis to use in the comments section. Link is in the description down below. So I want this jar of leprechaun bait to feel like it can go with our moss jar that we created in the last video. So I made similar elements on the tag. We're going to use the same cording, same moss, all those different things, so then that way these two could pair nicely together, whether that would be in a St. Patrick's Day centerpiece or somewhere together on your potion shelf. So first things first. So I love that these gold marbles or vase filler are fun because they kind of look like coins, which I felt like would be a nice nod to the fact that it's bait. So because we're trying to attract leprechauns, they like green things, they like shiny things, they like gold. So us putting fake coins in our jar would make sense as far as bait goes. So we're first going to put some moss in the bottom of our jar here. And I actually think we're going to do a little bit of all 3 of the colors, just like we did in our moss jar. And again, this is a reindeer moss, and I love reindeer moss. It has such a cool texture. It's actually a lichen, not a moss, but still. It's just like, I mean, just look at how cool the moss looks. It's so airy and spongy, and it just has all this great texture coming off of it, and I just love it. So I'm going to put a little bit of an assortment of all 3 colors in here. And I kind of like that they can just kind of coexist in here and, you know, again, mimic our other jar. And then I think we're going to add some of these larger gold vase filler or cabochons, however you want to call it. So I'm just going to put some in here. Now, you could also opt for some of the fake coins you can find this time of the year that have the little shamrocks on them, things like that. So you can decide what you want to put in here, but I felt like doing the glass cabochons made it seem more like bait. So if you want to do the coins, by all means, go right ahead. And if you look at leprechauns in general and their folklore all the way from, you know, everything from what's in Irish folk tales, as well as, you know, what's in Harry Potter and things like that, all the leprechauns are tricksters. Even in The Simpsons. So, but they can grant wishes. So that's why people seek after the leprechauns, as well as wanting to get their gold at the end of the rainbow. So I feel like trying to attract them with our bait is a good thing. Now, in Harry Potter, specifically, in the Quidditch World Cup, the leprechauns were the Irish's mascot, and they showered the crowds with leprechaun gold. And their leprechaun gold actually looked like galleons, like regular wizarding currency, but it ends up disappearing over time. There was never really anything that said exactly how long it took for it to disappear. It just disappears. Which is why Hagrid ended up using leprechaun gold when they were doing a lesson with Nifflers in Care of Magical Creatures. Because the Nifflers would go after the gold, but it would disappear, so it's not like the students were going to try to take actual wizarding coins. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more in here, so I might actually kick some of these over a little bit. So I think we're just going to kind of do a layering. Leprechauns love green, so I feel like adding some green to this is going to be helpful to attract them. And again, we're just going to try to create some interest in our little jar here. And it'll be a nice accompaniment to our moss. All right, so I think that's good. Again, we just want to try to attract the leprechaun. So just like the other Regent glass stopper bottle, you want to put your stopper on and rotate it, and that's going to get that to lock into place. So at this point, we're going to wrap the top of this just like we did our moss jar. So we're going to do a layer of the brown jute, and then we're going to top it with a layer of the brown leather cording. All right, so now that we are all wrapped, and again, it's similar to the top of our moss jar here. We're actually going to add the same type of moss at the top, but we're going to add a little something extra as well. All right, so while our hot glue gun is heating up, I picked up this strand of natural stone beads. A lot of these I think are quartz, but I loved that there were these gold ones on here. So there's this like translucent gold and then the actual metallic-y gold. So we are going to use some of those on the top. Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of other really cool ones, so I'm going to save those for other future potions because I feel like it'd be fun to do some of these with other ones, whether we do them in the top like we are going to here, or whether we decide to do them, you know, on some strands or in the potion, whatever it may be. Okay, so I put the other colors off to the side, and again, I'm just going to save those in my little bead, chain, and jewelry drawer. So what I'd like to do with this is not only are we going to add some moss to the top, and I think I'm going to do this true green, just like we did the moss jar, but we are going to stick some of these gold quartz beads to the top so they kind of stick up like little crystals coming out of the ground or something like that. So I believe I'm going to go ahead and try to glue these in first, and then we'll kind of glue the moss around it is what I'm thinking. So as soon as this is hot enough, which it might be now, we're going to start to stick these to the top. It's almost hot enough. It's probably hot enough for me to at least stick one. Okay, so I just kind of wanted an organic look to them up here. And now we're going to add some more glue, and we're going to add our moss around it. Okay, so I think we got a pretty cool looking organic top as soon as I get all the little stringies. Do not use your flame to get rid of the stringies with moss. Moss is a natural fire starter. It will light up like a Christmas tree. Yeah, I love that. And I feel like that would definitely attract a little leprechaun to see what's sticking up and is glittery and gold. So I think because there's such a gap right here, similar to what we had with the moss one, I actually think with this one, I want to add some glue and kind of glue more of this around just to kind of cover that up a little bit more. I think that helped a lot. It just kind of, one, kept it still very organic, but at the same time, covered up some of that weird gap that we had with that glass lid. Now, I feel like we can pick which side of this we want to deem the front. And I think I want this to be the front. So I'm going to take the backing paper off of our label, and I did go around the outside edge with a matching marker. And there you have it, our leprechaun bait. Sure to help you catch a leprechaun. This will be a great addition to our potion and prop collection making along the way. as well as being a great companion piece to our moss potion. So if you guys like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks so much.